For 3,000 years, the galaxy had known an uneasy but enduring peace. Treaties were signed in gold, alliances forged in ancient halls under the eyes of immortal AI scribes, and once warring species turned their swords into plowshares. Except for humanity. The humans, the so-called Deathworlders, remained the galaxy's great enigma. After being reluctantly admitted into the galactic concord centuries ago, they had settled on the fringe worlds, farming their poisonous soils, building their strange orbital cities, and maintaining a fleet that patrolled empty space with an unsettling dedication. To the other species, the Thalians, the Orcs, the Veshkari, humans were tolerated but never fully trusted. After all, it was said that they descended from a world that killed 99% of its own life before breakfast. And they laughed at the galaxy's diplomacy with a kind of reckless mirth that no one ever quite understood. When the news came that the Thalian Emperor had declared the peace accords null and void, shockwaves rippled through the ancient star empires. Holobroadcasts flickered in every spaceport. The 3,000-year peace is over, war is declared. All across the core systems, panic spread like a digital plague. Planets went into lockdown, orbital defenses were scrambled, and senates convened emergency sessions. The Orcs marshals drafted 1 billion conscripts overnight. The Veshkari Navy mobilized their legendary dreadnoughts from the Kuiper forges. And the humans? They laughed. It started on Terra's main broadcast. A single anchorwoman, an old veteran named Captain Rivera, stood before a wall of screens showing Thalian fleets assembling. Her eyes sparkled with that old, defiant glint humanity wore like a crown of thorns. War, she said, voice carrying through every human colony and outpost. They think they're declaring war on us? The response was instant and contagious. Laughter echoing through orbital habitats, mining colonies, and underwater cities on Europa. Videos spread across the galactic net. Farmers on Titan polishing ancient rifles, engineers on Luna high-fiving beside massive rail guns, old veterans unsealing bunkers marked never again. The Thalian Emperor, in his marble throne room aboard the Ark Palace, could not comprehend it. His viziers begged him to wait, but he gave the order, advance. Crush the humans first. Make an example of their so-called courage. He did not understand that to humans, war was not the great fear boredom was. In the long centuries of peace, humans had trained, drilled, and tested weapons that other races called myths. They had studied every battle in their savage history and whispered about it in their military academies, the great sieges of old Earth, the orbital bombardments, the scorched Earth retreats. Their children played strategy games that made Thalian generals weep when they peeked at them. And their AI war sims made the Orcs marshals look like children with wooden swords. The first Thalian fleet dropped out of FDL near the human colony of New Midgard, a frozen rock of mountains, storms, and titanium mines. The Thalian commander sent a transmission demanding surrender. The human governor, an old woman named Freya Lindstrom, smiled through the hologram. 3,000 years of peace, she said, swirling her coffee. About time we stretched our legs. A single corvette appeared behind the Thalian fleet. A small, insignificant dot on their scanners. They laughed at it until its hull unfolded like an origami nightmare, revealing weapons systems that hadn't seen the light of stars since the old Terran Wars. In seconds, the Thalian flagship was nothing but scrap metal falling into the gravity well. Before the fleet could regroup, the asteroid belt erupted. Ancient defense satellites, long forgotten, reactivated with cheerful AI personalities. "Howdy, invaders," chirped one defense drone before it sliced through a Thalian cruiser. "Care for a complimentary orbital strike?" Everywhere the Thalians struck, they found not panic, but traps. Not surrender, but ambushes. Human soldiers in exo-armor, laughing through helmet comms. Old veterans teaching the young ones how to fight dirty in 0G. And the colonies broadcast it all live, so every species watching in fear could see what a Deathworlder truly was when pushed to the edge. Back in his Ark Palace, the Thalian Emperor watched his battle reports disintegrate into static. He turned to his viziers, his voice trembling. Why do they laugh? Don't they understand the horror of war? His chief advisor, an old scholar of human history, lowered his gaze. Your Majesty, they do. That's why they laugh. And far across the void, the humans raised a glass to the end of peace. And the return of the one thing they understood better than any species in the galaxy, the art of survival, the dance of chaos, and the roar of battle.